I think he's had it, Sarge. You know, his head was stuck right through the windscreen. I had a job getting him out.
Yeah, he's had it.
Do you know him?
I've seen him about. Couldn't put a name to him, though. No name.
Well, he's not local.
Oh?
Well, he's not likely to be heading away from town at this time of night, not if he's local.
Where were you coming from?
We'd been to a rifle club doing Edinburgh. Oh, that's Joan. It was her who phoned in. I told her to get back in the car. She's a bit shaken up.
Are you all right, Pooley?
His head was stuck right through the screen, Sarge. That's the first thing we saw in our headlights.
You didn't see it happen?
Oh, no. We were coming up to that bend just before the farmhouse. But I heard it. I don't know, he must have swerved to miss something. Oh, what's this?
Oh, right. There usually is. Where's that bloody ambulance? Where's everybody? I put out a call to the mobile. If I can get down here in 2 minutes, why the bloody hell can't they? Sergeant Ridgway to control. Sergeant Ridgway to control.
Go ahead, Sergeant.
I've got on a Ford 700 weight van at the Broadston end of Friardale Lane. Registration number 9343 M Mike Y Yankee. The driver's dead. Now get on to Nembra for a photographer. Then check with vehicle taxation for details of owner.
Message received. Over and out.
It's good of you to come, Glenn.
I've been halfway to Glovely, Sarge. A young bullock's been making mincemeat of the tennis courts. Is he dead?
Yeah. Now you better go with the ambulance. Pooley, you stop here.
But, sir,
I'll run the girlfriend home.
the one night of the year our parents are away.
Well, you wouldn't have been much good tonight. Now, when the photographer's finished, call Spartan's breakdown to pick up the vehicle. Soon as possible. Market traders are belonging in and out of cell.
What do you want?
It's the police. Open the door, please.
What is it? It's the middle of the night.
Yes, I'm sorry, but it's important. Can I come in? Oh, come on, Mom. It's all right. Are you on your own?
What?
Are you alone here?
Well, the others are upstairs. They're asleep.
Where's your mum? She upstairs?
What's this all about?
Look, I'd rather speak to your mum, love. Go and wake her and ask to come down. There's a good girl.
She's not here.
Well, where is she then? I mean, where can I get hold of her?
I don't know. She's gone. She don't live here anymore.
Well, who's upstairs then?
Your brothers, Tom and Billy.
And how old are they?
Tom's 8 and Billy's 4.5.
I see. Can we go inside? What's your name?
Sally,
How old are you, Sally?
16.
Still at school?
I work at Grafton's in a clothing room. And they give us time off for classes.
The boot and shoe tech in Connaught Street?
Yeah.
I've got a cousin who teaches there, Jim Andrews.
Oh, I know him. Is it me father? Is that why you've come?
you recognise this?
Yeah, it's me Dad's.
You sure?
Well, there's a cent on the other side. I remember him dropping it. Wouldn't he give his name?
All right.
Fool. Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. And it's not as if I didn't warn him. I told him over and over again it would end like this. But where is he? Can I see him?
What did you warn him about, Sally? He's driving. I mean, was he a careless driver?
No. I don't think so. What? Well, what's happened to him? Well, for God's sake, what's happened? There's been an accident.
Yeah. I'm afraid he's dead, Sally. He turned his van over in Friedel Lane, hit a tree. I doubt if he felt anything. It would have been instantaneous.
Well, that's something, isn't it? We must be thankful for that, I suppose.
Where are you going, Sally?
I want to be with me brothers.
No, don't tell him now.
I'm not going to tell them. I just want to be with them.
Now, look. No, Sally.
Let go of me, will you?
Look.
Leave me alone.
Will you listen? There's no
Let
point in up to
go.
go now. There'll be time enough for that in the morning.
Let go.
We're waking up half the street. They're kids, Sally. You've got to break it to them gently. Come on. Down we go. Now, you go inside. I'll see it is at the door.
What's going on? I'm from next door. I heard the police car, then I heard shouting. What is it, Sally?
Look, there's been an accident. Could you come in? Sally's just lost her father. Turned his van over.
Yeah. Oh, Sally. Oh, I am sorry, me duck.
You're not sorry. You couldn't stand him.
Oh, Sally, what a dreadful thing to say.
Well, it's true. You were all a-squabbling, you two. All us on about the bins. Bloody this evening she was on about us putting our rubbish in her smelly old bins. I'm not having her in this house.
Sally.
Just go and sit down, Sally. Now, have you any idea where I can contact the mother?
I did hear it said if she were living with somebody, some man, over Glovely Way. But she's been gone 18 months.
I see. Okay, well, I'll give you a knock if there's anything you can do.
What about the little ones?
I'll get someone over for the night.
Oh, Mr. Lawrence. Had he been, drinking? He liked to drink.
But we don't breathalyze corpses. Now listen, Sal. Is there anyone who could come over for the night? You know, a relative or a neighbour. No, not her next door, but there must be someone.
I don't want anyone.
Well, you can't manage on your own. Well, maybe you could for a day or so, but you've got your work. I mean, who's going to look after your little brothers while you're at work, eh?
What time did you find him?
About 12:30.
There's nothing else, is there? You've nothing else to tell me?
No?
Then you'd best be on your way, hadn't you?
Where's your mother living now?
Told you I don't know. Why the bloody hell don't you listen? She packed up and went nearly 2 years ago. Some mothers are like that. Didn't you know?
Now look, Sally, certain things have got to be done. I've got to make a phone call. But why don't you go and make a cup of tea, eh? Oh, give me the duty sergeant, please. Hello? Is that you, Arthur? Oh, it's Ken Ridgway over at Broadston. Oh, not so bad. Now, listen, Arthur, I've got a young kid about 16. Her father's just been killed in a road smash. The mother's living apart. Now, could you send over a WPC to spend the night? Oh, good. It's 16 Ambush Street, Broadston. What's that? No, she's only 16. We'll have to get the social services people in the morning. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll hang on till she gets here, right? Fine.
They're not going to split us up. They're not going to send us to one of them children's homes because I won't let them.
We'll work something out, Sally. Now, come on, what about that tea, eh?
It was a terrible sight. A right old mess. And there's me and the girlfriend trying to get him out. Well, he must have weighed 14 stone. In a shocking state. I tell you, there's plenty of awkward names that have passed out on the spot.
But not our Pooley. He's made of sterner stuff.
Eh? You what, Sarge?
I'm glad to see you still got an appetite, son. Mind interrupting? Are you doing that thing, or are you just showing off?
I'd have finished it by now if young Pooley had belt up for a few seconds.
To listen to him, you'd never believe he was a gibbering wreck last night.
Ken, where was he going last night?
Eh?
What's his name? Lawrence. He was driving away from Broadston, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, where was he going? Not much doing round here at 1 o'clock in the morning, is he?
I suppose not, unless you've got a nasty, suspicious mind. I don't know what you're ferreting around for, but does it matter? I mean, the chap's dead. Does it matter where he was going?
Not if he was out visiting his sick auntie, or doing a spot of poaching. What if he was thieving?
Well, there was nothing in the van.
Wrong.
Really?
I've just been down Spartans. There was a canvas bag in the back, a tool bag.
You don't waste much time, do you? All right, supposing he was going thieving, he never made it, so no crime.
What about Chummy? You thought of that?
No.
He does, 3 houses on the new estate, and nothing for 2 weeks. Then he bobs up in tailors off a high street, takes half a dozen rabbit coats.
Fun furs.
Aye.
It's what Brenda calls theirs. You know, fun fur.
What's Brenda called perfume? Because next time he's in Woodrow's warehouse.
Been another 2 weeks and it's Shipley's.
Well, you get in there. Carry on like that, we'll have you know a lot.
You'll be lucky. Last night. How long's that since the last one?
15 days. Fits the pattern, you see. He's as regular as clockwork.
Stupid.
He's an amateur. He's got no form. I'll stake me life on it. I've been around the pubs, clubs. Not a whisper of him. I'm up to here with him. It's made me look like an amateur.
Well, if it was him, you can relax, can't you? Well, he won't be bothering you again.
What am I supposed to say to all the folk that want the gear back? Sorry we've wrapped up the case out of deference to the deceased.
Well, when will you start?
I'll chat to the neighbours, the family. None of the stuff's ever shown up anywhere.
Look, he left a young girl of 16 and 2 kids under 10. The mother walked out 18 months ago.
Asking me to lay off it, are you?
You know, just leave the kid. She don't know anything.
Well, she still won't when I've finished with her.
Now, just go easy on her, Smithy.
I've got a kid myself, haven't I? Kid gloves.
I don't know. How many more times am I going to say it? I haven't seen her in 18 months.
Well, the police will find us sooner or later.
She's not coming back here. If she went down on her bended knees, we wouldn't have her back. And we're not going into one of your homes. Oh, give me my toast back. Tom, you give Billy his toast back. You snatch like Flanagan and I'll clock you one.
I did hear it said she were living somewhere over at Lovely Way. I told the police. I told him last night.
Oh, you hear all sorts of things if you gossip around enough, don't you, Mrs. Purdy?
You're upset, Sally, so I'll take no notice. Me and Miss Mills here is only trying to help you, you silly gal.
I don't know what you're doing here, Mrs. Purdy. I didn't ask you in. And it's my house now, and you know where the front door is.
You were always a stubborn child, Sally Lawrence. She always knew best, even when she were a little girl.
Sally, surely under the circumstances it would be better if your mother could be persuaded to come home. Well, who's going to look after your brothers? Have you thought about that?
I am.
But you're at work all day.
And I earn good money. £14 a week.
But who's going to look after them when you're not here? Who looked after them before?
He did. Well, when our mother left, he gave up work. I don't think he cared. He'd worked in the clicking room at Grafton's for 30 years. That same little movement, 4,000 times a day for 30 years. I just don't think he missed it. Looking after the kids was a damn sight more interesting. And they loved him. They thought the world on him. He were a good man.
I'm sure he was, Sally. And I'm sure he'd have wanted what was best for you and your brothers.
I'll get a minder. Hey, what's the time? Me wages. The what? Well, it's Friday and I get paid today. If I can put in an extra half day, I can make me wages up to £14. And I'll need every penny now. Could you? But would you mind hanging on here till I get back?
No, you run along, Sally.
Thanks. Make sure they finish their milk, won't you? I'll only be gone a couple of hours.
We might have some news of your mother by the time you get back.
I'm not having her back. I'm quite definite. Me mind's made up.
But you'll talk to her, won't you? There's no harm in a chat.
Oh, Sally. Sit down, love.
All right. Sitting down for hours.
How'd you like your work?
Okay?
I'm sorry about your dad, love.
Yes.
I've just been down your house. I thought I might find you there. Had a word with the welfare officer. The area's been burning. She was saying some very nice things about you.
Did she?
And she said you were a fighter. I think she's right. Can't have been easy if you're coming in here today.
Well, what do you want with me?
Oh, just a little chat, Sally. I'm trying to fill in the details of what happened last night, you see. There's been one or two nasty accidents on that stretch of road. Now then, your dad was a good driver.
You were all right.
And he left the house about,
Sometime after midnight.
he got called out suddenly.
I don't know. I were in bed.
He often had to go out at night then, eh?
I don't know. You said it was to do with the accident. And what's all this got to do with it?
Oh, I'm just trying to fill in the background. No, he was a careful driver. He had his tyres checked regularly, that sort of thing.
Yeah? And the van had passed the MOT. Anything else?
You know something, I don't like this place much, do you? All these boots. Why don't we go and have a cup of coffee? We try Lord's in the High Street.
Okay, I don't mind. I haven't been in there for ages.
Good.
Look, I'll just go and get me things. Will you wait here till I get back? I'll only be gone a couple of minutes.
All mobiles, keep a sharp lookout for Sally Lawrence. Repeat, Sally Lawrence. Age 16, wearing a blue dress and a white cardigan. She could be riding a black rally bike. If you see her, handle her gently. She is depressed owing to recent death of father and subsequent visit by police. Over and out.
I'm beginning to feel like something the cat's dragged in.
What did you do? I mean, what did you say to her? What happened to those kid gloves?
I used them.
Well, you must have said something to make her shoot off like that.
Said I was inquiring into the circumstances of the accident. Was he a careful driver, that sort of thing? There was nothing to make her suspicious. As she knew what her dad was up to, of course. See, if I'm wrong, and he wasn't the fella I'm after, she'd have taken me questions at their face value. But she was on her guard.
Not proof, though, is it? I mean, a visit from the police the day after? It's very unsettling, I'd have thought. Especially for her. I mean, she's a highly strung kid. I should know. I was up with her half the night.
She can't have gone far.
Son, Ridgeway. What? All right. I'll send someone down there. No. Oh, tell Poley I want to see him. No, not when he's finished his tea. Now, this minute. Have you any idea where she might be heading? Did she say anything?
No.
Well, let's just hope she doesn't...
Doesn't what? You hope she doesn't what?
Do something stupid.
For a kid like that, trots calmly off to work the day after her dad's been killed. Now, she's a fighter. The only question is, what's she fighting for?
You want me, Sarge?
Yeah. Do you ever feel you're being got at, Pooley?
All the time.
There's a word for that. Paranoia. Enjoy your tea?
Yes, it was all right.
Oh, good, good. Now, I've got a nice job for you. A lorry from Bradley's just dropped a load of animal guts on the Nembra Road, just past Andrew's farm. You're going to be up to your neck in it, son. Better take a shovel and a pair of watertight boots. Well, get on with it.
What was that word again, Sarge? The long one?
Scarper.
Anything in yet in the mother?
One of the neighbours reckons she's living with someone out Glovely way.
Maybe that's where Sally's gone.
Maybe. Woods is over there now. What are you off to?
Get the proof you were on about.
Son, Ridgeway. Look, could I have your name, sir? Right. What can I do for you? Your neighbour's doing what?
I just don't understand, Mr. Smith. She was so determined to look after those children. Why has she suddenly taken it into her head to disappear like this?
That's what we'd all like to know, Miss, yeah?
There's nothing upstairs, son.
Right, well, you better try out the back then, hadn't you?
Right.
What does he mean, nothing upstairs? What's he doing, peering into everything? What are you looking for?
We're looking for Sally.
Oh. Well, if she doesn't come home soon, I'm going to have to make arrangements for the children. I can't stay on here indefinitely. Now you're doing it. Really, Mr. Smith, I don't think it's very likely you'll find Sally in the cupboard. Surely you'd be better advised to send out search parties.
Tool in hand, Miss...
Mills.
Be surprised what you find in people's cupboards, Miss Mills.
Whiskey? Well, most people like a drink now and then. I like one myself occasionally.
How much is a bottle of whiskey?
About $2.50.
How many people do you know can afford to lay down 20 bottles at $2.50 a go?
a nice surprise. No work today.
I never stop, do I?
You can take this lot and lock them up any time you like. You can take them to lunch.
Yeah. Do you fancy a walk first, sir?
It's all right. I live on air. Well, come on, what is it?
Hey?
What's on your mind?
Nothing.
Oh, don't give me nothing. You've got that broody look.
Sometimes I come to meet you just because I want to see you.
What is it, Smithy?
Do you remember a girl called Sally Lawrence?
Yes, I told her. Heard about her father, too. It's all around school this morning.
Yeah, well, she's pushed off somewhere on her bike.
What?
I went to see her this morning at Grafton's. Her dad had been thieving. He'd done about 20 shops and houses in the last 10 months.
So you went to see the girl?
Yeah?
Did you have to go and see her so soon after he died? Well, would a day or two have made much difference?
A day or two would have given her the chance to cover up.
For a dead man? Don't charge a dead man, do you?
It's not him, it's the stuff he took. Crates of drink, coats, perfume, you name it. Well, it all belonged to somebody. They want it back. It's my job to get it back for them.
Did you know what he was doing?
She must have done. Why else would she have scooted off like that? Point is, what's she up to now? You taught her, Betty. What was she like at school?
It's hard to believe she was a thief, if that's what you're asking.
No. Was she a normal kid? You know, was she balanced?
You are worried, aren't you? Well, she was a very proud little girl. They never had much money. Wore the same dress every day. It's always clean and pressed. And heaven help anybody who poked fun at her. Or her parents. Maybe she just wants to be alone. I did when my father died. Well, she'll probably ride that bike until she's exhausted. And then limp home and sleep for 24 hours.
Sally. Come in, Sally. No need to stop out there. Come on in, me duck. I know what's happened. The policeman's just been. I'm so sorry.
Funny. I don't see any tears.
No.
But I suppose with you it'll be a delayed reaction. In 10 years' time, you'll start sobbing your heart out.
Sally, your father and I were together for 18 years. You can't live with someone all that time and not feel sorry when they go. In spite of everything what's happened, I liked him.
Yeah, I noticed. We all did.
Won't you come in and sit down? I'll make a cup of tea. Policeman told me you'd run off. He said you might come here. I said no. No, she won't want to see me. But I'm glad you've come, me duck. We've got to work something out, haven't we? How's our Tom and little Bill?
Well, there's no need for you to worry about them. You just carry on, Mother. We're going to manage all right.
I'm coming back, Sally.
We don't want you back. We've managed all right for nearly 2 years. And we don't want to inconvenience you. You've got a nice little place here, all comfy and all set up. And if you think you're coming back and taking over just because it's out of the way, you can bloody well think again.
Sally!
You made your bed, so bloody well lie on it. With your little Italian friend.
Sally, I'm warning you.
Oh, where is he, by the way? Oh, I'd like to see him again. I've only ever seen him once, biking to work in blue denims. Ever so tight they were. I think your little Italian friend fancied himself, Mother.
You'd better watch your lip, Miguel.
Had I?
Sally, you're only 16-year-old. There are some things you just don't understand.
Like you and your Italian? Oh, I understand that. An handsome bloke and you in your 40s. It's pathetic. You're a bloody laughing stock.
Go on, get out of here.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not staying here a minute longer than I have to.
Do you think it's been easy?
in a town like this. Do you think I've enjoyed all the nudging and pointing, the whispering?
You should have thought of that before.
You're a small-minded little girl, Sally.
And what are you? Have you ever thought about it? Just look what you've done. Well, it's all down to you. You killed him.
What?
He'd been drinking when he turned his van over. He never used to drink before you went. And there's a lot of things he never used to do.
So everything's my fault. My Christ. You've got a lot to learn. Oh, Sally. We used to have such times together. Remember the old boat? Picnics on the canal. Do you still go there? Remember that day when you fell in and we all laughed so when you come up looking like a little drowned rat? Here, Sally, where you going? Here, hang on a minute. I'll come back with you.
Why? Why do you suddenly want to come back? It's all over, isn't it?
What?
You're fed up with him. You've had your fling, and now you've got a nice excuse for coming home.
Why, you?
What's this? What are we celebrating?
I found it in Lawrence's house, along with about 20 others. I reckon it comes from the break-in at Shipley's.
Anything else?
No. He only kept that there because it was his tipple. Somewhere in this town there's the jackpot. Dresses, fun furs, perfume.
But why, Smith? I mean, what was the point if he was just going to sit and gloat over it like some nutty Scrooge? How do you know he hasn't got rid of it?
He'd have had to be organised, you know, make trips. Northampton, Birmingham, London.
Well, it's to say he didn't.
He was stuck at home all day looking after the kids.
Well, maybe the girl is involved.
Maybe.
You know, apart from this, all the stuff he nicked was women's things.
Some Ridgeway. Who? Oh, hello, Mrs. Lawrence. No, she hadn't turned up at the house. We've got a child welfare officer over there now. She said she'd ring in if Sally showed up. Well, what time was this? I see. Well, don't worry. We'll find her. Yeah, okay, I'll tell the welfare officer you're on your way. Right. She's been with her mother. Must have got there just after Woods left. Seems she was in a state, excitable. The mother's scared she's going to do something daft. I mean, what the blue blazes is going on in that family?
Time I found out, isn't it?
You try and get some sleep now, Tom. I'll only be downstairs.
All top?
Yes. It's what I miss most, the evening. Bathing them, putting them to bed.
Why'd you leave?
Are you married, Mr. Smith?
Nearly 20 years.
You look the solid, dependable type. But I doubt if you'd understand.
You're unhappy here?
No. No, if you'd asked me that before it happened, I'd have said I was happy enough. I were no worse off than my friends, my neighbours.
Fell for someone else, did you?
He's only 25. An Italian. I could be his mother. He come over here to work in the tannery.
Oh, that was where you met him.
No. No, I were waiting for Ben in the pub one evening, and he was sitting on his own in a corner. I kept feeling his eyes on me. He was staring. His eyes never moved away. He didn't come up to me or say anything. There were no need. He said it all with his eyes. Anyway, a few days later, I went out shopping and he were waiting for me. He just appeared out of a doorway and gave me that same look, like a sort of a challenge. He followed me all over the town, waited for me while I went into shops, watched me through windows. Well, in the end, I just had to stop and face him, ask him what he wanted. And well, that's how it started.
How long was it before your husband found out?
I were only a few weeks. There were a row and I broke it off. A month or two went by and it all started up again. That were it. Ben said either I stopped seeing him or I packed my bags.
So you left?
I've lived in this town all my life. Married at 20. Worked in the factory. Never had any...
excitement.
You don't see, do you?
Does it matter?
I haven't had a day's happiness since it started. Oh, there were times, of course. Wonderful times when I was with him. But always Ben and our Sally and the little ones at the back of my mind. Now Ben's dead and our Sally hates the sight on me. Will she ever come back?
It's up to you. She's got to trust you. She's got to know you want to be back here.
But where is she? Where's she run off to?
Do you know your husband had been taking things?
Pilfering?
No, stealing.
Oh, well, he was always pinching things at work. But useless stuff. I used to think it was because he hated the factory and it was his way of getting his own back. Is that what you mean?
No, it was more serious than that.
Why? What did he steal?
Clothes, perfume, that sort of thing.
But why? I mean, he was never a criminal. Well, he just pinched things like
everybody else.
Well, yes.
Any idea where he might have put it?
Well, does it matter? Is it so urgent? I mean, you'll get it back sooner or later. It's our Sally I'm worried about.
And me. See, I've been told she's a very proud little girl. She wouldn't want her dad to be remembered as a thief, would she? So I reckon she's gone to get rid of it.
Little cow. Oh, now I've done me bloody shoe. Are you Potty? Have you escaped from somewhere? She must be bloody mad.
You're his girl. He's not going to like this. He'll turn your hide when he hears about this.
He's dead.
Dead?
Last night, in a road accident.
Ben's dead?
Who are you?
Me? Well, I'm just a friend. Can we go inside? It's been a bit of a shock. Well, there ain't much left. You've done a good job. Why? What do you want to go and throw it all in the water for?
The police are looking for it.
Eh? Have they been round the house? You didn't tell them anything, did you? Well, come on, what did you say?
Nothing.
They're on to Summit. A car crash, you say? There must have been Summit in his van. When did it happen?
Last night.
Oh, poor old Ben. Poor man. Well, only a couple of days ago we were down here, like.
You knew what he was doing?
Of course I knew. The point is, what are we going to do now? A fine state of affairs, isn't it? 400 frocks and coats floating down the bleeding canal. Well, you see, Sergeant, we were just having our annual clear-out.
He weren't really a thief.
Oh, no, love, of course he weren't. No, he just found all these things lying around in the street. For Christ's sake, where have you been all your life? Hey, your dad was a lovely man, but he was a right old villain.
How long had you known him?
A couple of years. Hey, we had some good times together.
Since me mother left.
Yeah, well, I suppose it were about then when we first met. We used to come down here, like, and, well, have a drink and a chat, you know. We had things in common, Sally. My husband left me 5 years ago, and, well, you get lonely, don't you? Yeah, well, like I said, your dad and I had certain points of contact. Well, things to talk about, you know. Well, don't look at me like that, love. It were just a little friendship. Now, come on. We got work to do. We'd best start fishing all that stuff out of the canal. We don't want the law coming down on us, do... Sorry, love. It's the law.
Hello, Joyce.
Sergeant Smith.
What are you doing here?
Oh, me? I was just walking along the towpath here and I met this girl, like, and we started chatting and then we came in here because it was getting chilly, like.
And this happens to be one of your favourite spots, eh?
What, this old oak? It's the first time in my life I've ever set foot on here.
What are you two going to do with all this stuff? Open up Broadston's first floating boutique?
Look, I hope you're not accusing me of anything.
How's your brother, Joyce? Still in London, is he?
I ain't heard lately.
No, they only let them send, 2 letters a month out of the scrubs, eh? Still, he'll be out soon, won't he? A couple of weeks, isn't it?
If you're trying to make out he'd anything to do with this...
No, of course he didn't, Joyce. Still, he'd have been useful, wouldn't he? All these contacts. He'd have got rid of it for you just like that.
Hey, take your hands off me! I have nothing to do with this! You can't pin this on me! I used to come down here for a program. Take your hands off me!
taking me?
Home. You've given us a fair old run round, haven't you? Thought you might have rushed off to do something stupid. That's exactly what you did. You throw it in the waterfall to hide it. Pretend it never happened.
What do you care? We've got it back.
Yeah, a bit wet.
He was a thief. And Mother went off with somebody. That's why he started it. It sort of affected his mind.
No.
Well, he never did it before she went.
Doesn't follow he started because she went, though.
Him and that woman. Him and that tarty woman. Stealing things and going down there. Does it have to get in the papers?
It's not up to me. Put your seatbelt on.
Hello, Mr. Smith. Would you like a cup of tea?
No, I'd better be getting home, thanks.
Well, take your coat off, Sally. Our Tom's been screaming for a glass of water. Run up and give him one, me duck. Then we must start thinking about some supper.
Right, well, I'll be on my way. I hope it works out.
Good night, Mr. Smith. And thanks.
Ewan Hooper is director of the Greenwich Theatre.